Hi everyone, it's Danielle. Welcome back to my channel. I'm in our bedroom today. It has been almost a year, I think, since I have filmed in here or done like a room tour, and I've had quite a few people recently ask to see this room. So there are a few changes I have been kind of just like putting off. Nothing major because I still really love the way everything looks, so I'm just gonna tweak a few spaces, and then afterwards I think I'll just take you around the room and share it with you since, like I said, it's been like a year. So I'm gonna start by getting some fresh bedding here on the bed. This part of the video is sponsored by Brooklinen. Now I have worked with Brooklinen before, so I can actually sit here and tell you that we love their sheets. Garrett especially loves the feel of their sheets. So you may be familiar with them, but if you're not, I will take a minute to just share some info about them and their website. So Brooklinen is a luxury sheet company. You can visit their website and find tons of different home good options to elevate your home, but they specialize in high quality bedding. They have tons of wonderful options as far as colors go and patterns. You can visit their website and choose your sheets individually, or you can choose one of their hardcore bundle options and you can save 20% that way. And one of the greatest things is you can mix and match colors and patterns. So you could choose a solid like sheet set and then choose a pattern duvet cover, which is really cool. I chose one of their luxe hardcore bundles, which comes with the fitted sheet, the top sheet, 4 pillow covers, and then the duvet cover. And I usually like to get whites or creams, but this time I chose their warm gray, and it looks kind of like a beautiful like mushroom taupey color, which I really like that a lot, especially for this bedroom. And I chose queen sheets and then a king size duvet cover because I like it to be a little oversized. So being able to mix and match is probably one of the greatest things. So as I mentioned before, we've been sleeping on our first set of Brooklinen sheets for a year now, and they still feel buttery and soft. They don't peel and ball up like all of our other sheets. Garrett and I both hate when our bedding starts to get scratchy and uncomfortable, so these Brooklinen sheets are perfect because they only get softer the more you wash them. And these luxe sheets that I chose have a thread count of 480 and a slightly luminous finish. And again, I think this warm gray color is so beautiful. So if you're interested in giving Brooklinen a try, they are offering my viewers a discount code. You can get $20 off of your first order over $100. Just click the link down below and use the code homemadevintage. Thank you again to Brooklinen for sponsoring this part of the video. Now I'm going to take y'all around and start doing some rearranging and decorating. Okay, this is the first area that I want to make some changes to. I actually really just need to add this bar cart. I've had it for like a month and I still haven't added it here, but this is the space that I want it to go up against, kind of in this corner area. However, I really still like this little arrangement like this. So I'm going to keep this like this and maybe just push it over to the other side. And then I have 1 or 2 changes I want to make here. The thing is, there's nothing in this room that I'm sick of yet. I still pretty much like the way everything looks. So I'm just going to tweak some things here and there. Okay, so like I said, I'm just gonna make a few changes to this peg rail, and then on the Swan bar cart, I'm gonna add some things I've collected like hat boxes, hats, shoes, and slips. And I'm sure as I shop more, it will continue to change, and I'll be able to show y'all that throughout the year while we're thrifting and antiquing. I took a few things away from this space, so I'm going to add some other items back up here to fill it in again. And actually, you'll see these hat boxes that I'm using scattered throughout the room. I had purchased them off eBay a while back. I think they're by the brand the Vintage Trade Company. But it was like 5 or 6 nesting little hat boxes for maybe $20 to $30. And you know, actual vintage hat boxes can be kind of pricey, so maybe look that up on eBay or even Amazon if you want to have like a nice collection or stack of hat boxes, like I did, without having to break the bank on just one. I'm changing this plain white switch plate to a brass one that I got off Amazon for around $10, and this is just a tiny improvement for us renters, so I'll link this one down below in case you're interested. And then under it I have this little empty wall space, so I'm gonna hang this parasol that was my grandmother's. It's not antique, she probably got this at like a shabby chic fair in the 90s, but I still like it and it makes me think of her. I wanted to share these with y'all really quickly. Recently I had gotten a frame with like different slots, and I mentioned I wanted to put Victorian cabinet cards in it, but that would require me to cut them down, and I really don't like doing that. So I found these on Instagram, well, it's where I saw them, by Tim Holtz, and it's like this entire pack of these scanned in Victorian cards, just on like some thick cardstock. So they're actually Victorian photos, they're just for crafting. So I've already placed some in the frame, which you'll see here in just a bit. It's inside the cabinet, but I wanted to share this for those of you that maybe don't know about it. This has a really nice selection of photos, and they have some bigger sizes, some smaller sizes. Here's a bigger one back here. And I got these off Amazon for I think around $10. I'm not sure if that's where they're sold or if I just purchased one from an individual seller, but if I can find them on Amazon, I will link them down below. Otherwise, I would suggest checking your Hobby Lobby or somewhere online that they sell Tim Holtz. But I just wanted to share that. I thought that was a really good option if you're like me and you love these photos, but you don't want to cut up the actual antique photos. On this wall here, I want to hang a few different items instead of just sticking them in my cabinet or on a dresser top. I want to have pretty things everywhere, so it's going to be kind of like a little mixed media gallery wall. had gotten this giant lithograph at the bins last year, and I knew I would get sick of it because of how colorful it is. So that time has come, and I'm going to add this vintage Gibson Girl sketch instead. And I like that much better, much more simple. But here is how everything looks when you're walking in the bedroom door. I'm going to take you space by space now and just kind of talk about it and give you a closer up look at everything. Starting in my favorite corner with the Swan Cart, I still have this trio of wooden hand mirrors hung up using some command strips, and then above the peg rail I have an old framed Victorian book plate. I love this black velvet hat, and this amazing green Victorian bodice was sent to me by a viewer, and I still can't believe it. It's one of the most amazing things that I own now. And this wedding dress next to it was also sent to me. And y'all, I'm so happy to be able to hold on and use these things that either y'all can no longer keep or have to move on from for whatever reason. I still can't believe that there's people that are nice enough to just send me things, but I love everything that anyone has ever sent me, and a lot of them end up in this room. This is a very old bathing suit box. It's empty, but it's antique and very fragile, and I love it. So I put it in this little rack here to keep it safe, but you can still see how beautiful it is. And moving over to the other corner by the bathroom door is where my armoire is. And I did move that little vignette with the Victorian Boots over here because I do love it just like this, the way it is, with the dried flowers and the cabinet card, and then I draped an old lacy slip off of the hat boxes. I am going to show y'all what I have inside the armoire. Now, if you've been here since I started this channel, then you'll know I started out collecting very different things, same type of stuff, just different colors, a little bit of a different vibe. But vintage nightgowns were my very first collection I started to build, and I have since gotten rid of most of them, but I did keep a storage bin full of them, and I recently took out all of the white ones, and I just have them hung inside here. I still have tons in the storage bin, but they're all like pastel colors. But I love being able to open up this armoire and just see beautiful things inside of it. Since I'm not using it for storage, why not add more decor? Here is the wall that faces the bed. Now this dresser was free and we've had it for years now. It was originally a baby blue color when we got it, so I painted it with milk paint, and it is very hard to clean, I guess because of the milk paint. But Garrett goes out and works on his cars and then gets his black handprints everywhere. So I eventually want to replace it with something older and dark wood to match the rest of the furniture. But anyways, if it's dirty, that is why. I did clean it though. But moving on, this is my mother's antique fireplace screen that we had in the house when I was a kid. And then above that, I have a brass candle sconce and some of my metal purses hanging from it. I haven't changed the dresser top much at all because I do like how it is. This is what I call my mirror bouquet. It's a silver plate pitcher with some of my vintage hand mirrors and then more pretty things just on a tray. On this side, I have an old hairbrush with the D monogrammed on it and another silver piece with some dried flowers. I love this old advertisement and this beautiful old lamp that I found on Marketplace. And I opted for an Edison bulb instead of using a lampshade. Over here, next to the dresser, is my DIY mannequin. I talked about this in the last video I did in here, but it is literally spray painted black, and hopefully one day I'll find an antique dress form that I can put in its place. It gets very dusty and it attracts dog hair, so it's really hard to keep it clean, and that's another reason I want to replace it. But I've hung some of my vintage lockets from it and added a few brooches, and then this veil came with the wedding dress that was sent to me, as well as the gloves that I have draped over the armoire. Alright y'all, here we go over to this giant curio cabinet that I'm always talking about in my thrifting videos. When I say I'm going to add something to the cabinet, this is where it all goes. And it's going to be hard to share because of how dark the inside is, but I'm going to do my best to share each shelf and give you a close-up look at all the little things I have inside. Up top, I have a table runner and a Victorian trifold mirror with some pearls and gloves that are actually disguising a crack in the mirror. And I have some more dried roses and then a cute little candlestick. On this first shelf, I have a silver planter with some old beaded purses that I've collected since I started collecting, and just a bunch of little collections scattered about and displayed in random things. I have lots of framed Victorian cabinet cards. I put some hat pins and stick pins in this crystal shaker, and some more perfume bottles and glass jars. On the second shelf, I have more photos and powder jars. Those are one of my favorite things to collect, is the glass jars with the brass or silver lids. And I actually recently rearranged this cabinet so I could give myself a few bare spots to add to as I keep collecting things. I love this pearl bridal Bible, and then this hat box was the first one I ever purchased and one of the first things I bought from an antique store. On the next shelf, I have more mirrored vanity trays and jars, and these little shakers. I have brooches stuck in them so they can be displayed better. Lots of random little bits scattered because that's what I find the most, is just tiny little things. And on this bottom shelf, here's that frame I was mentioning that I used the Tim Holtz photos for. And you know what, I think I actually want to add some gold rub and buff to this because it's just a little too bright of a silver for my liking, and it doesn't really have any patina like I would prefer. But anyways, over on this other corner, I have my 2 Victorian photo albums, and I love these things so much, but this back one is actually holding up the shelf above it because I'm missing the piece that goes back there to hold it in place. So this will just have to stay here for now. I love my new little gallery wall that I'm sure I will continue to add to. Y'all, I actually ruined that chair the other day by throwing my castor oil pack onto it in the middle of the night, and it stained it, of course, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it or try to thrift a different chair eventually. I still have my mother's beautiful gunny sacks dress hanging here with a Victorian wedding photo hanging from the hanger. These metal birds are actually a vintage home trio that I got off eBay, so I'm not sure where I'll put the third one, but I really loved this one with its wings spread out. Okay, and we're ending here on the wall with the bed on it. It's nice and simple compared to the rest of the room. And look, the dogs have already trampled on my new sheets and made themselves comfortable. I hope y'all enjoyed seeing how I've done our bedroom. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did. And please don't forget to check out Brooklinen and take advantage of the discount code. You can find the link in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.